An overlanding journey is made across land in a vehicle and is a self-reliant adventure travel through remote areas where the journey is more important than the destination, and it is accomplished with mechanized, off-road capable transport where the principal form of lodging is the camping.
Vamos chegar lá, força.
These videos have no commercial purpose. I do not promote or advertise any brand. I create them simply as a hobby to keep alive the memories of my journeys and to share a few stories and useful information with those who, like me, are passionate about this kind of adventure. I have been traveling the world for more than 50 years, from Asia to the Middle East, from the deserts of the South to the high mountains of the Himalayas. But today, with mass tourism filling the cities, I choose another path. I escape to remote mountains and vast deserts where silence still reigns and nature speaks louder than the crowd. On the road, I live simply. I cook my own meals, but when I find a small family restaurant with traditional food, I never miss the chance to taste it. I sleep under the stars, in bivouacs or campsites, rather than in hotels. What I search for is always the same: adventure, natural beauty, good food and drink, and the joy of sharing it with true companions. And often, I prefer to travel alone or with no more than 2 or 3 vehicles, because in the end, overlanding is not about comfort or speed. It is about freedom, discovery, and living every journey as a story worth telling. Atlas versus anti-Atlas, two worlds, one Morocco. While many travelers know the Atlas Mountains, few truly experience the anti-Atlas, and they are worlds apart. The high Atlas rises like a stone fortress across central Morocco. Jagged peaks, deep valleys, cedar forests, snow in winter, and fertile oases carved by ancient rivers. Villages cling to mountainsides, and life follows the rhythm of water and altitude. It is dramatic, green in places, and home to the highest peak in North Africa, Jbel Sagro. The anti-Atlas, in contrast, feels older because it is. Carved by ancient geological forces long before the Atlas even existed, it is harsher, drier, more silent. A land of fractured rock, desert plateaus, hidden palm valleys, and remote Amazigh settlements. Here, nature strips everything down to its essence, raw, rugged, timeless. One range touches the sky. The other whispers from the stone and sand. Both are Morocco, both unforgettable. But the anti-Atlas is where solitude begins and adventure truly breathes. The Palm Grove Track. Somewhere deep in the anti-Atlas, we took a track that once crossed an ancient palm plantation, a place that used to give life and shade, now half swallowed by sand and time. At first, it looked easy, but the deeper we went, the narrower it became. Branches scratched the sides of the Hilux, and every meter forward meant one thing: there was no way back. Turning around was impossible. Only one direction left: forward. And then, at the end of the trail, a small bridge, half broken, half forgotten. The Hilux barely fit, inch by inch, tire by tire. A few centimeters between progress and disaster. Moments like these define overland travel, where instinct, trust, and precision become the only path through.
Tem largura? Vai aguentar.
Gara Medawir, the so-called Portuguese prison. Rising from the desert near Erfoud, Gara Medawir is one of Morocco's most mysterious places. A vast horseshoe-shaped mountain, walled by ancient stone structures. It looks like a fortress lost in time. Locals call it the Portuguese prison, though no evidence links it to Portugal. More likely, it was a defensive stronghold or a caravan station, protecting trade routes across the Sahara. Its strange circular cliffs and the isolation of the place gave birth to the legend and to its cinematic fame, appearing in films like The Mummy and Spectre. Standing inside, Gara Medawir feels like being in a natural amphitheater of stone and silence, a reminder of how mystery and myth often outlast history itself. Along the track, we pass through Bumadine Mines, echoes of the past. In the heart of the anti-Atlas lie the Bumadine Mines, a vast network of old tunnels and shafts carved deep into the mountain. Once rich in gold, silver, lead, and zinc, these mines were first worked by the French in the early 20th century, and today, exploration has returned, led by Aya Gold and Silver, uncovering new veins of precious metals. The place feels frozen in time. Rusted rails, stone buildings, and silence. A reminder that even in the desert, the earth still hides its treasures beneath the dust. Bivouac under the desert sky. As the sun dropped behind the mountains, we found a quiet spot to camp. Just rock, sand, and silence all around. It's the same ritual every night. The tents unfold, the dust settles, and soon the sound of ice in a glass marks the start of the evening. Gin and tonic simple, perfect, earned. Later, the fire crackles. Tonight's dinner, fried cod cheeks in olive oil and garlic mixed with chickpeas, a humble dish turned feast beneath the stars. The wind softens, the fire glows, and time slows down completely. Moments like this are why we travel, not for the distance covered, but for the peace found at the end of the day. Ancient cemeteries, stones of memory. Along the tracks of the anti-atlas, silent shapes rise from the dust. Ancient cemeteries, forgotten, unguarded, untouched. Simple stone mounds, half erased by time, mark the resting places of those who lived in these harsh lands centuries ago. No names, no signs, only stones and silence. They stand as quiet witnesses to a world that once was. A reminder that life here has always been fragile, and that in the desert, even memory turns to dust. Valleys of green and stone. Some of the most beautiful tracks wound through narrow valleys, carved deep between the mountains. Hidden from the wind, these canyons burst with live palm trees, green oases, and the quiet rhythm of water, long gone. Driving here feels like crossing a secret world where desert and life meet in perfect balance. The shepherd of the anti-atlas. In the middle of nowhere, a shepherd appeared, a young girl, herding goats and sheep across the barren land. She ran towards us, smiling, asking for a can of sardines. We had none, so we offered bread and a tin of tuna instead. She thanked us with a quiet smile, a small moment of connection in a place where nothing grows easily, and kindness still travels without words. Jbel Sagro, the forgotten mountains of Morocco. Between the high Atlas and the Sahara lies a hidden world, Jbel Sagro, a rugged volcanic mountain range where the green of the Atlas fades into the brown of the desert. Climbing the Sagro means leaving the familiar behind. The tracks rise through eroded canyons and basalt peaks that look almost lunar. It's a land of silence, sculpted by wind and time, raw, remote, and humbling. Along the way, small Amazigh villages cling to the slopes. Simple stone houses, herds of goats, and faces marked by sun and altitude. The people here belong to the Ait Ata, one of the proud Berber tribes that resisted both invaders and time itself. The ascent is demanding narrow pistes, loose rock, steep switchbacks, but the reward is extraordinary. At the top, vast horizons open toward the Sahara, and the sense of isolation is complete. Jbel Sagro is not about reaching a summit, it's about crossing into another world. A bridge between mountains and desert, between endurance and awe. The peaks of Jbel Sagro, between the high Atlas and the Sahara, lies a land of stone and silence. The Jbel Sagro. Its peaks are the remains of ancient volcanoes sculpted by fire, wind, and the slow patience of time. Dark basalt spires rise like sentinels, while deep canyons and rocky labyrinths stretch for miles in every direction. Here stand the great formations of the range, Bab Nali, the twin towers of stone, and oueds, the highest peak, watching over the desert from nearly 2,700 meters. But this land is not empty. It is home to the Ait Ata, one of the most resilient Amazigh, Berber tribes of Morocco. Nomadic herders, guardians of ancient routes, they live between valleys and plateaus, keeping alive traditions shaped by hardship and freedom. The Sagro is their land, wild, sacred, and timeless. A place where every mountain tells a story of endurance, ancestry, and the eternal rhythm of the desert. Tracks through dry riverbeds. Many times along the route, we followed ancient oueds, dry riverbeds that carve deep through the desert. Their paths twist between cliffs and sand, changing after every rain, guiding us through silence and stone. Driving these tracks is like following the veins of the land, where once there was water, now there is only dust and adventure.
compraram? Levaram uma caixa?
In the middle of the Anti-Atlas, near the town of Tafraout, lies one of Morocco's most surreal landscapes, the Painted Rocks. In 1984, the Belgian artist Jean Veram transformed a granite valley into an open-air artwork. With the help of the Moroccan army, he used 18 tons of blue, pink, violet, and white paint to cover massive boulders scattered across the desert. Over time, wind and sand have softened the colors, blending art and nature into something almost dreamlike. The rocks stand silent under the endless sky, part human creation, part geological wonder. Some see it as art, others as madness. But standing there, surrounded by color and silence, you realize it's both. Plage Blanche, the Atlantic Passage. The tide was low when we dropped onto Plage Blanche. Kilometers of empty coastline, pure sand, wind, and the endless roar of the Atlantic. Driving here feels unreal. The Hilux gliding over wet sand, waves breaking beside us. Freedom at its purest form. The mouth of the Oued Aoriora and the fort. At the southern end, we reached the mouth of the Oued Aoriora, a dry riverbed cutting deep into the land. Hidden among the cliffs stood the remains of Fort Aoriora, a lonely outpost built by the French in the early 20th century. A silent witness to a time when this coast was still being mapped and claimed. We explored the ruins' cracked walls, rusted metal, echoes of history swallowed by sand and wind. Up the Oued life in the desert. Then we turned inland, following the riverbed upstream. The landscape changed from dunes to canyons, from salt to stone. The desert came alive. Bird tracks in the sand, fox prints, and in the distance, wild boars crossing the oued. It was one of the highlights of the entire journey. A perfect mix of adventure, solitude, and discovery. The ocean behind us, the desert ahead, and the anti-atlas watching from afar. The Toyota Hilux GR 2.8, a machine built for challenges few others dare to face. Its engine delivers strength with precision, and the automatic gearbox manages every climb, every descent, effortlessly. Through endless desert tracks and mountain passes, the Hilux moved with quiet confidence. 90% of the journey in 4x2, rarely needing 4x4 or low gear. No matter the terrain, sand, rock, or riverbed, it just kept going. Reliable, relentless. The kind of vehicle that turns every obstacle into another story of adventure. From now on, I will hereby name her Gazelle. From the plateaus of Tissardmine to the Atlantic shores of Plage Blanche, we crossed the heart of the Anti-Atlas, A land of stone, silence, and endless horizons. Days of rocky tracks, dry riverbeds, hidden palm valleys, and forgotten villages. Nights under a sky filled with stars, stories, and the glow of the campfire. Through challenge and beauty, the Hilux GR 2.8 carried us without fail. A true companion in a land where nothing is easy and everything is real. This wasn't just a route on a map. It was a journey through time, solitude, and freedom. Morocco raw, timeless, unforgettable. Now that this trip is coming to an end, it's time to start preparing new routes for the next adventure, which I hope starts as soon as possible.